Hello and welcome to the City of Cedar Falls Planning and Zoning Commission meeting for Wednesday, April 23 of 2025. I call this meeting to order. Can I get a roll call, please?
Sure. Alabrhaski,
Here.
Gribovich,
Here.
Hartley,
Here.
Henderson,
Here.
Johnson,
Here.
Moser,
Here.
Sorensen,
Here.
Stallnaker,
Here.
Watkins.
Here.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. First order of business is approval of minutes from last meeting. Looking for a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right. This is a point in the meeting for any public comment for anything that's not on the agenda tonight. If anyone would like to come up and speak to the commission. All right. There's no old business, so we'll move right into new business. Our first item tonight, zoning code text amendment allowing specialized educational facilities in the M1 district. And I think Chris has that tonight.
Yep. Good evening, commissioners. Let's see. So, in the last little bit, staff received an inquiry about locating a dance academy in the M1 district. It's a location that's actually on Viking Road, kind of a relatively commercial area, or broad commercial area. The only problem is the M1 district disallows schools. And there are two types of schools defined in the code. One is a general education facility. These are public and private schools, that typically have a curriculum similar to that in the public schools. And then the other is specialized education facilities. Schools primarily engaged in offering specialized trade, business, or commercial courses, but not academic training. Also specialized non-degree granting schools such as music schools, dramatic schools, dance studios, martial arts studios, language schools, and civil service and other short-term examination preparatory schools. Those are definitions that are directly out of the code. And so with that in mind, there is this kind of delineation of schools that I think is important to consider here. There may be some good reason to allow the second type up on the screen, specialized educational facilities. And we can talk about that for a minute. The M1 district already allows a wide variety of uses where people and children may visit often. Most commercial uses are actually allowed in the M1 district. And the M1 district is a light industrial zone. I think the important thing there is to note that, and this is specific language in the code. It does say, no use shall be permitted or maintained which by reason of its nature or manner of operation is or may become hazardous, noxious, or offensive owing to the emission of odor, dust, smoke, cinders, gas, fumes, noise, vibrations, refuse matter, or water carried waste. So I think it's kind of important to know that those things would be absent of our M1 district, or should be. And so, these standards will help prevent nuisances and unhealthy conditions for specialized educational facilities. The other thing is market factors will discourage specialized educational facilities from locating in places that would discourage their clientele. So if there are issues of, some noise or other things like that, probably won't locate something there. But that's something that the market can decide. Some other things, technically specialized education uses are already allowed if they're accessory to an existing business. And also some non-conforming specialized educational facilities have already been operating in the M1 zone without any issues of concern. Some of those went in, typically when we catch those, when staff does see those, it's usually because some kind of a permit was pulled for like a remodel or something like that, where staff would be able to say, sorry, we won't be able to sign off on that. And that this is kind of a similar case where we weren't able to approve the use in that case. So So I'll just talk about the proposed solution that staff is bringing forward. The solution is really just to make the M1 district code more specific. So here's the proposed language. Kind of as it says in here, it's, when it lists off the permitted uses, it actually starts with some uses that are not allowed. It says no occupancy permit shall be issued for any dwelling, it said dwelling, school, hospital, clinic, or other institution for human care. So instead of school, we would propose to change that to general educational facility, because that actually refers to a specifically defined type of school in our code. And so that would not prohibit the specialized educational facility from locating in an M1 district. So pretty straightforward. I don't really have much else to say about it. There should be some individuals here that would probably like to speak to this issue, make a public comment. Really with that, what we're proposing is to set a public hearing for May 14th for formal consideration and recommendation to City Council. And with that, I turn it back over to the Commission.
All right, thank you. Is there any questions for staff?
Yeah, just, are you kind of referring to like a dance studio or a baseball training center or something like, is that what's going on?
Yes, yeah, anything that's, it could be a martial arts studio, it could be a training program for, coding or, it really could be anything that is
Gotcha,
of specialized education. So it could be vocational is what I'm saying, or it could be for dance or martial arts or cheerleading or whatever it is. So.
Okay.
Any more questions? Anyone from the public like to speak to this item? Please just come up and name and address for the record, please. Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you. Brett Van Hove and Candace Van Hove, business address, right?
618 Brandywin Boulevard.
We're Van Hove Dance, and we operate, or she operates, National Dance Academy. We kind of found ourselves here accidentally as we looked at a space. We looked around and we saw businesses like ours, but we talked to our realtor and said, we want to make sure we're going through the proper steps here, so if you could check. Didn't expect the answer we got as we looked around and saw things very, very similar. So we want to make sure we did it the right way. Spaces for businesses like ours are incredibly difficult to find. In today's world, people expect space, they expect certain things, and in Cedar Falls, it's tough, and we've looked for years. It's expensive. If it's there, it's tough to get your hands on if it times out right. We've just had a hard time, and we can assume that other businesses have as well. Again, we think to a certain degree, as Chris mentioned, the businesses that are operating there for however they got there, whatever, they've kind of been case studies to a certain degree. Seemingly no complaints. We were actually customers of one of them. Our children went there. It was great until they kind of timed out of that, if you will. We also kind of operate, if you look at that district, when we're leaving our businesses sometimes and driving right past there, it's kind of shut down for the night. We operate at a time where we can utilize that space when maybe other businesses aren't. If you look at businesses similar to ours that are there, they've filled spots that had sat for a while. So we think it's beneficial not only to us, but also the owners of those businesses. We bring, in our current location, it's nice. We're around a lot of things, but we're kind of getting squeezed in terms of being able to grow. And again, we can assume that's similar for other businesses like ours that are looking to move here like we did long ago. At the same time, we want to be near that area, which is where the M1 district is. We bring families in. They like to drop and go and go, use the businesses that are close. I think to a certain degree, like I said, it's been proven it can be successful. We hope we can advocate also for those businesses that are there that are already showing that it can be done. It's a tough thing to do, so we certainly appreciate what they've done and what they've kind of proven. Don't know if you have anything to add. All right.
All right, does anyone from the commission have any questions? All right, well, thank you very much. Was there anyone else from the public that'd like to speak? All right. Oh, okay.
Hi there, my name's Bob Hoppus. I'm a realtor at Structure Real Estate. I also am the owner of the property at Viking Road. Currently, one of my tenants is leaving, so I've known Brett and Candace for a while. Situation kind of fit, but they wanted a little bigger space, and we were kind of hoping that works out, so just advocating for the passing of that.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yep.
Anyone else like to speak tonight? All right, bring it back to commission. I'll make a motion to set a public hearing for May 14th.
Second that one.
I got a motion and a second. I think this makes sense to do this. It's pretty a no-brainer in my opinion, but
Yeah, I agree. Knowing some of the other businesses in the area, and I just wanted to also point out that I do appreciate when you say you want to do it the right way and follow the rules as established. We do appreciate that. So,
all right, is it just a voice vote on?
Yes, please.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Sorry, yep, we got all ayes. And that will be a public hearing set for May 14th. So thank you very much. Our next agenda item tonight is an MU District Pinnacle Prairie Master Plan Amendment, Prairie Stone Senior Living. And I believe JD has this tonight. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, everyone. This is the second case for tonight. This is MU District Master Plan Amendment for property at 4900 Prairie Parkway. The applicant proposes to amend the 2024 Pinnacle Prairie Master Plan to designate the property as a professional service/professional office use, to allow the conversion of existing senior living facility to a short-term residential treatment center for addiction, recovery, and rehabilitation. So this is in an MU zone, and currently this property is being designated as mixed-use multifamily use on the master plan. So an amendment would be required before they could convert this facility. And the change in use also triggers review by Planning and Zoning Commission and City Council. As you can see, this is located on Prairie Parkway. The site is highlighted in red. Just also wanted to say this proposed amendment, if approved, would allow the conversion of an existing senior living facility to a short-term residential treatment center for addiction, recovery, and rehabilitation. Changing the master plan from mixed-use multifamily to professional service/office space. Just a bit of background on this property. As I said, this is zone MU. When this this property was rezoned to MU, it was for the entire 620 acres for the Pinnacle Prairie area. The master plan originally was approved in 2004, and the plan was then amended in 2015, 2022, and 2024 to accommodate changes in this large master plan community. MU zone is allows variety of uses, including commercials, neighborhood commercials, offices, mixed use, and variety of residential developments, as indicated on the master plan. And currently we have this area being developed for over 20 years now. So with that, I just want to reiterate what the existing and the proposed master plan change would be. So on the left image, you would see the site is currently in mixed use and multifamily use on the master plan. If approved, this will be changed to the pink color, which is more of a professional service/professional office space. Applicant has indicated that this proposed amendment would help them convert this existing facility and existing site and this facility would be repurposed to a different use, which would be the short-term treatment center from a senior living. They believe that the market is favored toward this use, and it is much needed in the community. And that is why they believe that this conversion on the this amendment to the master plan would help them convert the property, the use of the property. Couple of more facts I would just point out is, again, the proposed use is allowed in an MU zoning district as long as it is classified. It would be classified as a professional service / professional office use because the applicant intends to have offices for therapy, healthcare, other wellness initiatives. So those all would fit under the similar category as professional office / service. And we believe that this will align with various medical service in the area, such as Unity Point, urgent care, and other professional healthcare services. The site location and its proximity to nearby uses, and the fact of reusing this entire facility to a new purpose makes this project more feasible. I also want to point out that at present, the area which is zoned mixed use multifamily currently has a couple of senior living facilities and multi-unit apartment buildings in the area. But at the same time, we also see that in the same vicinity, we have other medical or / professional healthcare service located as well. So staff believe this would be a feasible thing to do to allow them to convert their existing facility. I also want to note that the applicant did a good neighbor meeting on April 3rd, as indicated in my staff report. Then they updated us saying that the meeting went well. There were not many oppositions at the meeting, and it was very productive. However, we also received one email correspondence, which I have put on your desk, that had expressed some concerns over this proposed amendment. And then, with that, we have applicant here tonight who will be able to speak to this item as well as any questions. But I want to just say staff recommends approval of this amendment for the property at 4900 Prairie Parkway, changing the designation from mixed-use multifamily to professional office / professional service use, subject to any comments by Planning and Zoning Commission. Thank you.
All right, thank you, JD. Is there any questions for staff? Okay. Is the petitioner here tonight and would like to come up and speak to the item?
Hi, thanks everybody. My name is Doug Leach. I'm the founder and CEO of Ascension Recovery Services. We're in partnership with Nelson Construction Development and to open up behavioral health facilities around the state. Just wanted to tell you a little bit about the project. So the centers that we operate, we do this on a national basis at Ascension. And the centers that we open are all voluntary, so it is behavioral health, so depression, anxiety, substance use, alcohol use disorders, things like that. The programs, again, are voluntary programs. It's not court mandated. It's not a court diversion, jail or anything like that. I mean, it's people that want to be there are there. These facilities are licensed by the state, and they're regulated by the state. And we also get all of our facilities that we operate accredited by the Joint Commission, which is a federal national accrediting body. Mostly, you guys are probably familiar with that with healthcare. And so that represents, just a higher level of standards that we operate to. About 10% of treatment centers around the country are nationally accredited. And for us, it's operating the highest quality programs. We want to get people well. We treat people from the local communities. We had a ribbon cutting for one in Iowa City, I think was that Tuesday? Yesterday. And we opened up one in Pleasant Hill right outside of Des Moines. Did that open up in December? Yeah. So this will be the third facility. They're going really well. I think what led us to this facility, and with Nelson was in Pleasant Hill. The first week that we were open, we had 300 phone calls. So Brock sitting back here is our business development guy, and he's in long-term recovery, as am myself, and other folks as well. But Brock got call after call after call after call, and it's pretty heartbreaking because we just don't have beds, to put people in. So that's how the program will operate. We did do the neighbor meeting. We shared with them what this will be, what it won't be. I think some of the concerns are it's going to be a methadone clinic, and you're going to have people waiting outside and rowdy and noisy. These are very quiet facilities. Offered at that meeting, anybody that wants to talk to a neighbor of any project that I have around the country, call me, talk to me. I gave my card out, and I always offer this. We're just very quiet facilities, and again, we treat the local area, and there's just such a great need here. So happy to answer any more questions as they come up, but thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone from the public that would like to speak to this item? Okay, I'll bring it back to the commission. Any thoughts, discussion on this?
I think this is a great location for this facility personally. Occasionally, when people are going through addiction or recovery, they're coming into that situation with very little. And looking at the location for this project, it's a very walkable, bikeable neighborhood. It's not very far from a grocery store. There's other medical facilities nearby. I think that this would be a great location for the project, and there's certainly a need in Cedar Falls. And I think that this would be an incredibly safe and welcoming location within the city for people to be residing in the short term and going through this treatment. So I would like to speak in favor of this. I think that it's a great use of the facility.
Are there any other facilities in Cedar Falls for this?
Not that I'm aware of, sorry. I have no idea, sorry.
Okay.
You need to come to the mic to answer questions. We appreciate your participation, but you need to be on a mic to, so your name and
Brock Milligan, Business Development Community Relations for Thrive Now Recovery Centers. In the area, there's Pathways Behavioral Health Care, and there's Mercy One Horizons inside of the Mercy Hospital. Other than that, it's a complete desert. The closest would probably be in Cedar Rapids.
okay, and this as far as a private pay-for service, correct? The two you're talking locally are not court-ordered places. They're
Correct.
okay.
Yeah. I think Pathways has 15, maybe 20 beds, and then Mercy Horizons is similar size, about 20 beds.
To educate me, if it's a court-ordered rehab, who facilitates that service?
If it's
Like,
involuntary,
let's say it's a court-ordered rehab. You guys won't facilitate that. So where do those people go for a court-ordered one? Just to educate me, because I don't know.
yeah, those facilities would take
Like
a
Pathways and the other
committal.
ones?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. There's other facilities throughout the state that
All right, and you guys won't be taking court-ordered?
not for this location. No.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
I mean, I guess just one to address the letter we received is, are there any instances or rare instances of, crime or, you guys are, what, half a mile from the police station? Is it common or is it,
We haven't had any disturbances, any calls like that since we opened Pleasant Hill and Iowa City. We just admitted our first residents today, but yeah, there hasn't been any calls of the police or any complaints from the neighbors.
How many beds are in this facility? I'm not sure how big it is. Do you know?
To be determined.
More people can come up. That's fine. You can come up. That's fine.
All right.
We're talking to the whole team here.
Sorry, thanks, you guys. Brandon George, I'm with Ascension, the operating company. The senior living facility right now has about 160 beds. We're planning on opening with 45 beds, and it'll probably grow over time. There's not a dedicated number right now. I'd probably say roughly 100. We've got 60 at the current facility that's in Iowa City and 55 that is in Pleasant Hill right now. So 45 is the opening number, and then we would adjust from there.
Okay.
All right, any more questions, discussion?
I would just I would agree that this seems like a great use for the area. There are a lot of professional services, medical services. It's a nice location. It's a good building for it. So I agree that I think it's a great use for it.
Looking for a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second on the table. Was there any further discussion or questions? All right, we do a roll call vote on that?
Yes. Albert Haskey,
Aye.
Gribovich,
Aye.
Hartley,
Aye.
Henderson,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Moser,
Aye.
Sorensen,
Aye.
Stallnaker,
Aye.
Watkins.
Aye.
All ayes.
All right, that will pass and move on to council at, I don't know what date, but
Yeah, I think it would be possibly the May 5th city council meeting.
okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, we have one more agenda item tonight, and that is for urban renewal plan for Arbor's 6th edition. And I know we have Shane Graham here joining us again tonight.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. On the agenda tonight is a request to approve an urban renewal plan for the Arbor 6th edition. Oh yeah, I got it. Yeah. All right. Location of this is in the Arbor's subdivision, which is just west of Amber Valley Road. West of Arbor's Drive within the Arbor's residential subdivision. This would be, as indicated, the 6th edition. They've already completed the first 5 editions, and I believe there's 2 more editions to go after this. What's the button that clicks us forward? Oh, I'm clicking. Okay. Oops. I'll go back. So Chapter 403.5 of the State Code indicates that prior to approval of an urban renewal plan, the local governing body shall submit such a plan to the Planning Commission for review and recommendation as to its conformity with the general plan for the development of the municipality as a whole, otherwise also known as the comprehensive plan. That recommendation then gets forwarded to City Council. City Council then will review the urban renewal plan and then take in the Planning and Zoning Commission's recommendation. The City Council did set the public hearing date at its April 7th meeting, and the public hearing for this urban renewal plan will be on May 5th. So again, Cedar Falls has a comprehensive plan that was adopted in 2012. Goals of the comprehensive plan include encouraging diverse housing opportunities to serve a variety of needs and preferences, repairing aging infrastructure, expanding technology infrastructure to attract business and industry. And within the comprehensive plan, it does show a need of approximately 3,800 housing units by the year 2030. This is the future land use map, which is a component of the comprehensive plan. You can see that this entire area is designated, which is in the light purple, as low-density residential. This proposed development would be 21 single-family lots, so it would meet the requirements of the low density and meet the designation of the future land use map for the low-density residential. Again, objectives of this urban renewal plan, again, are to increase the availability of housing opportunities, stimulate private investment in new housing and residential development, help plan and provide for sufficient land for residential development, help finance the cost of constructing public infrastructure, strengthening the tax base, and achieving a well-balanced economy, providing a desirable standard of living. So to meet the objectives of the plan, the City Council has adopted a new guideline to allow for the reimbursement of 50% of the cost to install new public infrastructure in a residential subdivision. That public infrastructure can include new roads, sanitary sewer, storm sewer, water mains, and this incentive can only be offered after an urban renewal area has been established and approval of a subsequent development agreement between the developer and the city. And I guess I'll remind you, I was here before the commission in December For the Hidden Pines subdivision, this is pretty much similar to what that is, and my guess is you'll probably see me several more times in the next coming months for more of these. So they will sound similar because the premise and the urban renewal plans are fairly similar as far as what they entail. So again, based on the goals and the designated future land uses listed in the comprehensive plan, staff does find that the proposed objectives and activities of the proposed Arbor 6 urban renewal plan are in conformance with the general plan for the development of the municipality, and therefore staff recommends the Planning and Zoning Commission also find that the proposed Arbor 6 urban renewal plan is in conformance with the Cedar Falls comprehensive plan, and then forward that recommendation on to City Council as part of the public hearing on May 5th. I'd be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Is there any questions for staff?
I just have a question. How do you pick what piece of land that you are suggesting?
These come to us from the developer.
Oh, so you already have a developer that's interested. Got it.
Yeah, so when the urban renewal plan will go to City Council on May 5th, and then on that same agenda will be the applicable development agreement between the city and the developer.
Okay.
And these plans are a new format for the city, correct? These weren't utilized in other areas of that, and there's a lot of new development that has happened over in that area in the last, couple decades maybe, but
right. I believe there was one other time that the city used residential TIF, and that was 20 plus years ago. Otherwise, the city's never really used TIF other than for our industrial park development. One of the things with the housing needs assessment that the city council adopted in 2023 showed a need for a number of new housing units, and one of the recommendations from that housing needs assessment was to look at incentives such as TIF. So we had conversations with city council, and in October, city council gave staff the go-ahead to start offering these incentives and start working with developers in order to create more lots, maybe faster than we'd normally see, and increase that housing stock. For this development in particular, it's the Arbor 6th edition. The developer, this is Midwest Development Corporation out of Cedar Rapids. When they heard of what we were doing, they immediately wanted to come and sit down with me and talk with me, and basically said that they wouldn't be moving forward with this addition if we didn't have this incentive in place. So it's early results, I think, are very promising. That we're hoping this is going to increase the number of buildable lots, sooner than what we would normally see. So.
Does the future homeowner have any benefit to this as far as the price of the real estate that they buy?
So that question came up, I think, at the last time I was before you, and Kyle Larson with LGC tried to answer that. I really don't know. In theory, if a developer is getting some cost savings by the reimbursement for the public infrastructure, it could lower the price of the lots, but I guess that's to be seen yet. We haven't really seen, this is the second development that's coming through, so we would hope so, but I guess there's no way of knowing for sure.
So there's no conditions in the agreement with the developer about the cost so they get the benefit of the reduction, but get the upside of when they sell the real estate. Yep.
Yeah,
but they take the risk.
Right. I would say based on the cost of construction, and we talked about this when Kyle was here last time I think that addition's called Hidden Meadows or something like
Pines.
Hidden Pines, yes, thank you. That with the cost of new construction, and as I recall last time we passed this and moved this to council as well, and the risk of the developer is still big because this is only rebated back over a 10-year window if you get houses built. And if you get a tax base on those houses, that you can start getting that rebate back. So if you sit there on the land because you're trying to overcharge for the lots, you're not going to get anything back. So it's in the developer's interest to start to move those as quick as they can. So, and I think you see that in the Hidden Pines already. There's already quite a few new starts in there. And I just did the quick math on your study that said we needed 3,778 houses by 2030. That's 755 houses a year. I think the most we've ever built in Cedar Falls is what, 225 maybe? Stephanie might know, I don't know. But
I'm not sure if I can quote the most. That would
Okay.
go back quite a ways, but I can tell you that we track it, and I would say, I'm not going to include last calendar year, but prior to that, we'd been at a 5-year average, about 125 homes. I think that's dipped closer to maybe around 100 at this point.
Right, okay, thank you. Yeah, so this is great. I champion this again. We need to do more stuff like this to help developers get more land going, get more residential neighborhoods built. Our population hasn't changed much in the last 10, 15 years without looking at a chart, but we need to do something to get more housing. So, very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Anyone from the public like to come up and speak?
Hello, Bob Manning, 2908 West 3rd Street, Cedar Falls. And I'd just like to commend the commissioners. It sounds like this is a very positive thing, and most of you are leaning that way on proving it and send it up the ladder. And that's great. Cedar Falls does need more lots. Our demand is outpacing the supply, and this will help in its own way. And to have land developed without any TIF money in this case makes those lots prohibitively expensive potentially. And so there are other developments in the Cedar Valley area. And so it's just important that Cedar Falls keep pace with that. And we want to be known as a town that steadily grows at that 2%, maybe 3% level. Is considered a good growth. And so again, thank you. I'd say pat yourself on the back, but that might be uncomfortable. So thank you for what you're doing and what you're supporting tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Manning. All right, I'll bring that back to the commission, and I'll make a motion that the URP is in conformance with the comprehensive plan.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Sure. Alberhaski,
Aye.
Gribovich,
Aye.
Hartley,
Aye.
Henderson,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Moser,
Aye.
Sorensen,
Aye.
Stallnaker,
Aye.
Watkins.
Aye.
All ayes.
All right, thank you. That passes, and we'll move on to City Council. That ends the agenda items tonight. Is there any commission updates tonight, JD?
No commission updates.
I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, we are adjourned. Everyone have a great evening.
Thank you.